Hi everyone, welcome back to your channel. I love pharmacology. And in this session, let us learn about the digoxin mechanism of action. So, it is quite interesting to learn the mechanism of action of digoxin. So, whenever you give digoxin, what it does is it binds to sodium, potassium, ATPase pump where in the heart. So basically it will going to bind to this and inhibit the sodium potassium ATPase pump activity. So next step is what it does is it will going to cause sodium accumulation where intracellularly. So basically there will be increase in the sodium concentration. So following that, what happens is again there will be a calcium accumulation where again in the intracellular. So there will be intracellular calcium accumulation. That means there will be increase in the calcium concentration because this will going to inhibit the increase in sodium accumulation intracellularly will inhibit the calcium efflux. Thereby it increases the calcium accumulation intracellularly. Along with that, whenever there is a depolarization during the depolarization what happens is there will be calcium entry into the myocardium. So when it will takes place mainly through L type of calcium channel, mainly through voltage sensitive L type of calcium channel. So in turn this will going to trigger the release of this will going to trigger sarcoplasmic reticulum for calcium release. So once the calcium is released, where it is released? In the cytoplasm. So this in turn will going to cause activation of troponin C on myofibrils. So basically once they trigger the calcium release from the sarcoplasmic reticulum mainly through activation of calcium activated calcium channels, which is also called as ryanodin receptors. So once it activates the troponin C and myofibrils, this will going to trigger what? This will going to trigger the contraction of myocardium. So this is the reason why the digoxin is used in the treatment of congestive cardiac failure. So in heart failure, they are helpful in terms of stimulating the myocardial fibers. So just to recapitulate again, so the quite interesting fact about digoxin mechanism of action is once the digoxin is administered, it binds to the sodium potassium ATPase pump on the myocardial cells. Basically, it will going to inhibit the sodium potassium ATPase pump. Thereby, it will going to increase the sodium accumulation intracellularly. In turn, this will going to lead to increase in the calcium accumulation intracellularly, because increased sodium will going to inhibit the calcium efflux. So increased calcium intracellularly, along with whenever there is a depolarization, so calcium will enter into the myocardial cells through voltage sensitive L type of calcium channels. So following that, what happens is the accumulated calcium will going to trigger the sarcoplasmic reticulum by activating the calcium activated calcium channels or ryanodin receptors. Thereby, there will be more amount of calcium that will be released from the sarcoplasmic reticulum. So this released calcium as well as the calcium which is accumulated intracellularly will going to stimulate the troponin C on the myofibrils, and this will going to trigger the contraction of the myocardium. So if you find this video useful, please do subscribe to my channel I Love Pharmacology, and do not forget to share and hit the like button for more updates on pharmacological concepts. Thank you.